hello everyone. Welcome to Coffee Chat. You got the old people back in here, the same old people. Are you sick of seeing us yet? Well, I have a giant. Oh, okay. I thought it was some sort of giant bug. I guess it was, but it was a moth or a butterfly of some sort. I shouldn't have flicked it off. Anyway, welcome to Coffee Chat. You've got Carrie Marie here as your Higdon Group coach, along with Joy and Sean. And as you know, these two are amazing, absolutely amazing. They are a couple of our Rank Maker ambassadors, so you see them in the Rank Maker group a lot, and they join us on Coffee Chat quite often. We've got 2 weeks in a row going here, so that's exciting. And I told them just moments ago that I was going to give them a trick question today. Not really a trick question, but something that I normally would have them introduce themselves. But if you have watched any of our coffee chats before, you've already been introduced. So rather than go through the same old thing and hear the same old thing again, I'd love for everyone to just share a little bit about something that you are excited about. So you all watching can drop it in the comments, something that you're looking forward to. Maybe it's weekend plans, maybe it's a trip coming up this summer, maybe it's some other kind of plans that you're looking forward to. It's always good to be looking forward to something, expectant on something. And so I'm going to have each of you share a little bit about something that you are excited about that's coming up soon. I'll share something, and then we're going to dive into the topic today, because we're going to be chatting a little bit about achieving goals. But this is something that I love, just chatting about what we have going on, right? It's always fun to hear what everybody else has going on and to be excited for everyone. So Joy, do you know what you have coming up? Are you excited about something?
I am excited that tomorrow is Friday,
Woo!
and I have the potential on Saturday to watch cartoons. No, don't look at me weird. Yeah, I loved cartoons as a kid when I worked that 9 to 5. Coming home and watching cartoons was my. No, I'm not talking the cartoons of today. I'm talking back in the day, the Flintstones, and
Oh, that's awesome.
The Jetsons. The life we're living now, the Jetsons, Tom and Jerry, those little things. Top Cat was my favorite cartoon. So I'm looking forward to doing some of that, just to relax and to bring out the kid in me again. Before, interestingly, what I did last Saturday was actually something I look forward to, and it was fun. I got together with my girlfriends from high school, and we just chilled and drank soup
Oh,
and
cool.
spoke, and we visited another one who just had an injury at work, and we just hung out. And then towards the end of the evening, we said, you know what? We need to pray. And the three of us just got together and we prayed for, it's a group of 5 of us, and we prayed for the entire group, for the children of the group, the grandchildren, and just prayed for each other. And so I came into this week with that. But for this weekend, cartoons, man. Some old school cartoons.
That is so awesome, Joy. I love that. I love that you got together with your friends from high
Oh,
school
we had so much
and
fun.
such a great time. That's amazing. And now that you have that amazing experience, now you'll have to plan another one of those get-togethers so that you have that to look forward to. But very cool that you have planned to watch old school cartoons on the weekend. I also enjoyed watching Saturday morning cartoons. That was a go-to thing in my house, and even my kids enjoyed that. I don't even know if they do Saturday morning cartoons anymore, but it was definitely a thing. Like, we had PBS for our kids, and they watched the ones that were on PBS, like Sesame Street. And I guess that's not really a cartoon, but all of those ones that were on, they're a little bit more educational type cartoons. But yeah, very, very exciting.
I think my
How about
kind of cartoons are on YouTube now.
Oh yeah, you're right. You
Yeah,
probably could pull up all those old school ones on YouTube or on Netflix or
yeah,
something like that.
summer.
You can find them somewhere. How about you, Sean? What do you have exciting planned for this weekend or coming up soon?
Well, let's see. I'll give you two things. My dad turned 84 this week.
Happy
Mhm.
birthday.
And
Happy
yeah,
birthday.
so we are celebrating this Sunday. So I have my family come over and we're going to do that on Sunday.
I know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, that's really cool. My mom and my dad are both the same age. My dad is 3 months older.
Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah,
so cool. Have you ever done a joint birthday party celebrations together? Because
I
they do.
haven't. I haven't, but that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. But yeah, so that's one. And the second thing is I'll be in Florida in October
Yes,
for
woo,
yeah. So it'll
woo.
be Faith Over Fear. I'll be there. So that I'm super I can't even wait for
I
that.
am so excited.
So
It's going to
excited.
be so amazing. Oh my goodness, Sean, you are very right. That's one thing that is upcoming, like in several months that we can all look forward to. I hope that you will all be there. Drop a comment and let us know if you are going to be at Faith Over Fear. Can't wait to see you there.
I
Can't
want
wait
to
to
meet everybody.
celebrate with
All
you.
these people in rank makers that give me love on my posts. I want to meet everybody. So you better
I
come.
I know, absolutely. Everybody's got to be there because we've got to love on each other in real life, give those hugs, celebrate each other for being there and for investing in yourself. It's just so amazing. So, yeah,
Orlando will never be the same because we've been doing this online friendship and connection for so to see each other in person, like, I've known you forever, but oh my gosh, you're real, you're human. It's gonna be fun.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be amazing and very, very cool that you get to celebrate your dad's birthday this weekend, Sean.
yeah.
Happy birthday to your
Yeah,
dad.
thank you.
We're actually celebrating this weekend as well. That's why you can see tents behind me. We just got these set up last night. Our daughter graduates from high school tomorrow. So we have
Oh,
her.
what?
Yes, yes. Our
That's
youngest
so
daughter gonna be
exciting.
empty nesters very soon as she heads off to college. But for right now, we are celebrating her. Our oldest daughter is in town for the week to celebrate with us. She flew all the way in from California, and so we have her baccalaureate service this evening at church, and then we will be going to graduation tomorrow evening, and then we have her party on Saturday. So
Yeah,
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Yeah.
that's a packed weekend.
yes, it's a very packed weekend. And then we're doing most of the food ourselves. We only hired out some of the food and we're doing all the rest ourselves. I don't know why we decided to do that, but that's okay. It's going to be amazing. We're going to do it all together as a family. I've got my mom and sister coming over to help with food and decorations and preparation. So it'll be a lot of fun. So, and
Yeah.
absolutely, I agree, Sean. I'm looking forward to Faith Over Fear. Woo, it's coming up close. It's so funny. I'm chatting with people almost daily about it, and it's just so fun. Like there's that anticipation that's just so exciting. So love it. I can't wait to see you all there. And we have such an amazing lineup of speakers. Everybody is going to be we're just going to be leveling up. It's just going to be so awesome. So can't wait to see you all there. All right, now let's dive into the topic at hand, which has nothing to do with this kind of, but it actually kind of does, because we're talking about achieving our goals. We're talking about creating and achieving our goals and how we go about doing that. And I know one way for me to help along with the goal setting process and the goal achieving process is continuous learning on different ways to do things. The way that we've always done things might not be the correct way, especially if it's not working. If you're not seeing results after doing the same thing over and over and over again, probably ready to change it up. And that's we talked a little bit about changing up your habits and your routine last week. And it's kind of like that with when you're going toward your goal, that we should always be changing things up. And by attending events like Faith Over Fear, you can sometimes take a different perspective about different topics or different ways of doing things, learn new things, connect with different people, hear about how other people handle different situations. And so I'd love to hear from both of you guys as far as some of the ways that you like to set your goals and how you go about achieving those goals, how you can kind of maybe hold yourself accountable toward those goals, or how you break them down into smaller steps, or what seems to work for you when you're going toward a goal, big or small.
Go ahead,
You
Joy.
Okay.
throwing Joy under the bus. You're
I'm
like, Joy.
always a follow-up.
This ladies first thing.
Yes.
I have to set goals. I have had, still working on, a bad habit that I need to break. and it's procrastination. And I have to set goals. If I find myself setting goals, I tend to eliminate that bad habit, especially if I stick to it. So I have to break it down, do something daily. Why Joy kept doing it to herself, where you continuously do it the same way and you put that stress and pressure on yourself at the last minute, where Joy kept beating up on herself and doing the stupid stuff and had to reset, like we talked about last week. So I take a big goal. So let's take Faith Over Fear, for example. It's in, oh gosh, October. That's a few months away. So divide the amount of months we have to Faith Over Fear and the goal. Is it a monetary goal of, okay, how much am I going to need for housing? What will I need for the ticket? What will I need to shop? Because Rank Maker Shop, I'm sure it's gonna have stuff there. For meals with the new old friends, in person. So to create a budget for that and know that and divide it by the amount of months I have and say, okay, how much of my product do I have to sell? How much business do I need to do to get me prepared for that? And for those of us flying in, and especially from another country, to take in all of that. So, and set that goal. And in a month, if you realize that, okay, I didn't do what I wanted, you have to readjust and set those goals to be there.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you used Faith Over Fear as an example. I actually said that this morning. I filled in for Ray on the Ray Daily this morning. And it was one of the things that I suggested because I want every single rank maker to be there. How amazing would that be if we all got together? I get it that there might be like, your daughter's wedding or some other kind of major thing that you absolutely cannot be there. But for everybody else who doesn't actually already have like something super, super important that's happening those exact days, you need to make a point to be there and set that as your goal. Set that as your intention of, I am going to be there no matter what. I'm going to figure out how to do that. And then, like you were saying, Joy, break it down. How many months do we have to go to get to that big goal? And then what do I need to do every single month leading up to that point to reach that goal? That's so awesome. Love, love, love that. Sean, how about you? What are some ways that you go about reaching your goals and achieving those goals?
I've always been somebody who wants to achieve like big goals, right? I come from the corporate world, so I'm a competitor in sales, so I've always had those like ginormous goals, and in this space, you got to treat your goals in a whole different way. I love the book by James Clear, Atomic Habits. He actually talks about doing goals in there. He does two sets of comparisons. Like one is that, well, you set the goal and try to get the goal. And two is that you have the goal, but you focus on the things, the activities that matter, right? And I love that because you don't really think about it, because if you really set the goal, and like, for example, I'll give you an example. About 2 weeks ago, I was working on a website for myself, and that's a whole different topic, but I worked on that thing for a whole month, night and day, to be able to launch it, right? And I had a certain date that I wanted to launch. And because of that date and where I was, I had to see, okay, well, I have this time, this goal, then I got to do these activities to make sure to get to that point on that date, right? So it's great to have goals, but sometimes when you don't hit them, it hits you hard.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like, and every time you set a goal that you don't reach, it hits you even harder. It's like, oh, it like chips away a little bit of your like self-confidence. I've been there, right? So the only way to do that is like, yeah, great, you can have a goal, but just really focus on the activities and it'll happen. It'll happen, and it'll take the stress and the pressure off that like ginormous goal that you have in front of you, right? Like, for example, Faith Over Fear. Your goal is to be there. Okay, well, like Joy said, what are your expenses that are going to be for that trip? Okay, how much time do you have? Then do the activities to make sure that you generate enough to get to that point, right? And I love focusing on having a goal, but focusing more on the activities versus just like staring at the goal, you know what I mean, all day. So
Agreed. Absolutely. Yeah. What were
sorry,
you saying?
I was gonna say, that when you're setting that goal for faith over fear, write down, the importance of being there, why you would want to be there. So when you feel like you're, you want to procrastinate or you don't feel like, I'm not going to do it today, that why to go should be so powerful that it would push you to go. And I agree with Sean, you set a goal and you set it knowing I'm going to hit it, and then for some reason you fall short and it tugs away at you. It's kind of a weird personal development space to be in, rah rah kind of thing. But any little win, celebrating. And I think
hmm.
that's why it's important that, even if it's one phone call or you you spend 15 minutes working on something, that's 15 minutes of production. The
Yeah.
little things, just find a way to celebrate, and so it's a
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely. I love that, both of those things, because it is really about it's not just about the goal. And I love having goals. Goals are amazing. And I'll have to just take a quick sidestep here to tell you, a good friend of mine, her grandmother has been like a grandmother to me. She's in her mid 90s
Oh,
and
wow.
is a spitfire of a woman. She is amazing. And I was chatting with her, I think it was last summer. We were at an event together, I think a graduation party or a birthday party, something like that. And so I was catching up with her because I hadn't seen her in a while and asking her what she had been up to. And she was asking me what I was up to. And so I told her a little bit of something that I had a goal for that I was reaching toward. And she's like, good girl for setting goals. She's like, I still set goals at my age. And I'm like, Rose, you are so amazing. That's awesome. And she's like, that's what keeps me young, because she's always reaching for goals. So you're never too old to set goals. So keep that in mind, of that you should always be setting some things to reach for, because then you're excited. And that kind of ties into what we were talking about in the beginning of when you have something planned, you're in that excitement mode. You're like in expectation mode. You're in preparation mode, all of that for something that's to come. And it's not just an event, but it can be a goal that you're working toward. And so when you're able to break things down into smaller activity and focusing on that activity, but how you're growing in the process of trying to achieve that goal. So setting the goal is awesome, and it challenges us. When we can set those big scary goals, it really does challenge us. It keeps us on our toes. It steps us out of our comfort zone a little bit, and it gives us something to look forward to and to work toward. But we also have to focus on being present in the moment. So I love being able to make it fun, to either gamify it or to take action that is fun and enjoyable to reach whatever that goal is, and to really enjoy that journey along the way. So whether or not you achieve the goal by the date that you want to achieve the goal by, if you have that amazing journey and can see that growth. So if you've read The Gap and the Gain book, you know that you're supposed to focus on that gain. So in that month's time, as you were trying, let's just say you set a goal for your month, for example. It's not necessarily, I mean, we have these big goals that we're like, we have to work on the whole year, or the goal to go to Faith Over Fear in October. But let's just say you set a monthly goal and you have this big monthly goal that you're working toward. If you're taking action toward that monthly goal all the time, and you're having fun with it, and you're growing and learning and making some progress, that's what you should focus on, is how much you learned and how much you grew during that time of trying to achieve that goal, whether or not you achieved it. If you did, awesome, very cool. But you should celebrate yourself either way. Like you were saying, Joy, celebrate the actions that you did take, because that is important. It's important that you took some action toward it. but you can also use that as a learning experience. If you did not achieve your goal in the time that you had set, think about it. Okay, why didn't I achieve that goal? How can I use this as a learning opportunity to move forward for future goals? Think other things I'm working on. Maybe I didn't break them down into small enough action steps. Maybe I did this or this. So like, how can you learn and grow from that situation? And what can you learn from achieving the goals?
I
But
love
also,
So, yeah,
yeah,
so you're saying instead of going for the fountain of youth, just set goals.
exactly. Apparently that worked according
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
you know, there's only three possibilities, right? You're gonna either hit your goal, you're either not gonna hit your goal because you didn't do the activities, and you're not gonna hit your goal because you did the activities, but you came a little short. I mean, those are really the three possibilities, right? So the one that you hit your goal, that's great. Check, right? The one that you didn't hit your goal and you didn't do anything, that's the one that's going to weigh heavy on you. That's the one that's going to chip away.
Mhm.
Imagine if you had a goal and you did the activities and you came a little short. Do you think you're going to beat yourself up? Probably not. You're gonna go, oh man, I was so close. Oh, next month I can just, right? It fires you back up. The only time that it chips away at you is because of that guilt, right? Because you didn't you didn't do the activities, and you didn't hit the goal. That's the only time it just really chips away at you. But if you're
Yeah.
doing the activities and you don't hit the goal, I mean, there's been a lot of times I've done a lot of work and I haven't hit it, right? Um, but it's not like I come home and I just bang my head against the wall and just move to the mountains and the caves. I'm like, oh man, so close. So it's the activities that really make you feel good about yourself. I'm finding that more and more as I get like more active. It's like, oh, that was a good day. I felt good today. Like, even if I didn't have a sale, even if I didn't have an enrollment, I go, well, you know what? I did my posts, I did my live, I reached out to the people that I wanted to reach out. So, the activities make me feel good, at least, about the day and what I've done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Something else that is helpful for me that I started doing last year actually is I set consequences for my month. So I set goals for the month, whatever my big goals are for the month, and I'll give myself positive consequences and negative consequences. So basically something to look forward to. I can treat myself to something if I achieve my goals, and then or something that I have to do that I don't really want to do if I don't reach my goals. And so and it can literally be anything. So for instance, the thing that I treat myself to, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to go out and spend money on something. It could be that I'm just treating myself to doing something that I absolutely love, but I kind of put off, I don't usually do very often. It's super special. Or sometimes I involve other people. So I'll like take my husband for a weekend getaway or treat my family to something if I achieve my goals. But then if I don't, I have to do something I very much dislike doing. So it could be donating money to a cause that I don't agree with whatsoever, or that I have to run like 5 miles or something crazy. I don't like running to begin with. I can't even imagine 5 miles. So you better believe it that I'm going to achieve my goals because I don't run those 5 miles. So it's like that gives you that little extra oomph. So in addition to like setting the goals, breaking it down into like weekly and daily action steps of things to do, but you always have these consequences lingering of like, hey, first of all, I'm looking forward to this fun thing, like a spa day. I'll do that a lot. That's like one of my go-to things of treating myself to a spa day. So I want to go do that. So of course I want to achieve that, but I also really don't want to go do that. So I
I
have those
like
things
that.
in front of me all the time so that way I don't forget about them. And I also have accountability people that I work with. And that's another big thing is if you have people you can work with, it doesn't have to be somebody on your team at all. It can literally be a friend or a relative, somebody that you can just touch base with literally every day. hey, these are the goals that I'm going toward. This is the activity that I'm taking today toward that. And then the next day report in, I did what I said I was going to do yesterday, or I didn't do what I said I was going to do yesterday. And like, this is what I have planned to do today. So if you can do that, I have a group that I'm mastermind that I'm a part of, where we talk every day and we just share with each other what we're working on toward our goals. And so we don't want to come on the next day and say that we didn't do what we said we were going to do, because you have somebody that you're being accountable to. And that's what's great about working with a coach. I did that every single day. I was working with my coach. I worked with Coach Jenny, and now I'm a coach, and I tell all of my coaching students to do this. Some take me up on it for a short time and some do not. But if you can be accountable, if you can send somebody a message every single day, or hop on a quick phone call with somebody every single day to tell them what you're doing, like what you intend to do, and report on what you did the day before, that's going to be huge too. Because it's not even just on you. You're then now having to be accountable to somebody else.
Very true.
So
I love
yeah,
that too, actually.
if you have a hard time taking action on the things, try to find somebody that you can be an accountability partner with. And it can go vice versa. So like, let's just say that Joy and Sean, you guys are accountability partners. Every single day you guys would touch base and tell each other what it is that you're doing. So that way it's not, you're not just bombarding somebody with messages all day long. They're coming back. It's like a conversation, but you're holding yourselves accountable. And you can even go further into like, okay, why didn't that action get taken yesterday? Did something throw your day off the rails, or is it just because you're literally procrastinating? You know what I mean? Because of course there are some things that come up in our lives that we don't plan for, and the whole day can just be switched up, and that's okay. As long as you can just kind of make up for that in other days, that's totally fine. But if it seems to be like a pattern of where you're putting it off and you're not doing your daily action, well, then that's going to really affect your week and the activity you're supposed to do for the week, and then the month or multiple months, whatever your big goal is that you're reaching toward, it's going to affect that when you're not taking that daily action. So,
and another point just to add to that is that if you're the kind of a person that have set goals and have not reached them, like you got those chip aways from you, you may be even afraid to set a goal. You're like, what's the point? I'm not gonna reach.
Yeah.
Right. Well, here's what you do. You set a goal that is so achievable, even a 4-year-old can achieve it. Right. You set something that you're gonna hit, because it's gonna give you that little bit of, okay. Oh, all right. Because you fall into that trap. You're like, well, what's the point? Every time I set it, I don't hit it. Right. And I actually, with the activity goals this week, I admitted that I did not hit all my activity goals all this time that I had, for the reach out. I admitted that. But I still set a goal to hit that. Right. So it's I guess it's okay to fall into that trap. It's not okay to stay in that trap.
yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be, it's all of us do, right? But the next time you want to set a goal, you want to set something that is not super crazy, that you're not going to hit, that is going to just knock you out of the game. You want to do something that is going to be like, like, for example, you said you don't like to run for 5 miles. Well, how about this? I run around the block or run around the yard. That's, if you do something super small, super achievable, you already know you can achieve it. It's going to give you that fire, that confidence a little bit more to kind of get a little bit more the next time. Right. Mm-hmm. So, if you feel like you're in that trap, there's a way out, and that's the way out.
Yeah, I like that. And it builds your confidence when you set it for those real small things. So,
because you got to build that, like Ray says, you got to build that muscle back up again, right? Like, for example, I used to work out and be a bodybuilder, MMA, all that stuff. Since my pancreas, I've lost 49 pounds, and I just like shrunk, right? And to work out, it feels like I'm gonna have to go to the moon and come back. Like, that's how it feels, because I have like no stamina, no drive. Like, I used to be in the gym 2 hours a day, 6 days a week, right? Now it's like I walk up the stairs a couple of times, I'm like out of breath, right? So set a goal. I said, you know what? I'm just going to do this for 15 minutes for the first 2 weeks. And that's all I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I just want that feeling again, right? Because it's hard to go to want to reach way out there when you're here. So just if you're in that trap, just kind of just set that small little thing. I call it a 30-day jump, right? You just do a 30-day jump. You just jump a little bit, you know, you just.
And it gives you that feeling of accomplishment and that, hey, I can do it. Now what next? And so I love that, Sean. That's awesome. Well, I know we're a little over time today, so I'd love to hear anything else that you want to add to this before we hop off, but I want to respect everybody's time. Anything else, Joy or Sean, that you want to add to this about setting and achieving goals? I think we covered a lot today. This was a great call.
We'll see you in October.
Yeah. See, we see you in October.
And
Yes.
and if you do feel that at you because you set that goal and you didn't achieve it, it's okay, because that's part of your story. Because then your experience can then, you know, be that one that inspires somebody else who's going through the same thing. So just keep pushing, keep achieving, and keep hitting those goals. And you could be, your journey could be the answer to somebody else who
Amen to that.
hasn't come into the industry yet, or who's still going through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. Well, thank you both again. This was such a pleasure chatting with the two of you again. And this was a great conversation because everybody should be setting and working toward goals. So love this. Well, thank you again and have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your weekend this weekend, and I will see you again soon.
You got it. Bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.